Welcome to Talk Fast, Listen Slow. I'm Catherine.
And I am Angela.
And our guest today is
Stephen Voyce.
Oh my God, this is happening. It's Saturday, it's quarantine. We're going to be talking fast and listening real slow. How's everyone today?
Well, I mean, I'm good. I'm excited. I've been honestly, the first time I saw Catherine post about the show, I was kind of thinking to myself, I hope I get on the show one of these days.
Dreams do come true, kids.
Right?
I
I threw it into the universe. So just like, yeah, I hope this happens. I don't want to be presumptuous, but I hope this happens. And here I am. So
you got those dolphin sonar powers.
it's on my hair. It's an antenna. It was just like shooting out the signals.
It's like manifestation and just like occurred and happened. That's
yeah.
Awesome. So how's the quarantine going, Stephen? What are you up to?
Oh man. Well, I mean, I'm just doing a lot of creating, like a lot of music. Before the quarantine happened, I had this plan. I guess I'm going to just jump into it, I guess. I had this plan to release 1 to 2 singles a month for 2020. That was my plan before the quarantine happened. And then quarantine happened, and I said to myself, oh, man, this may not happen. But then I just decided to stick to it. I said, irrespective of what's happening right now, I'm going to fulfill this promise I made to myself. Mm-hmm. So I've been doing it, recording new music. I also have a lot of music that's been recorded already. So having those mixed, mastered, and reproduced and stuff like that. So it's been fun, just taking the time to create and think of new ways to put material and art out to the world in these crazy times.
Well, before we continue, guys, please subscribe.
Aww.
Hit the little campanita so you can get the notifications when we have a new episode. Subscribe, like, and share. Stephen, so where are you right now?
I'm in my studio. First, I'm in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. But hold on, let me just show you where I'm at. So this is my little nook. This is my studio. This is where all the creating happens.
That is so cool.
Thank you. This is the Stephen Cave.
Can we go there?
Yeah, anytime you want to. I guess once this is over and done with, you can come down anytime you want.
Yes, of course. Yeah. You know what I would love to do is just be kind of like a fly on a wall one day and just see you creating, because you do so much. I mean, you're an actor, you're a music producer, you're a director, you're a singer. How did all this happen? Like, what came first, and how did you just
branch?
Yeah.
Well, it's music. Music is my baby. That's been ingrained into me since I was a kid. When I was a wee little boy, my mom was obsessed with Michael Jackson. So it's what I'd hear day in, day out. And I would listen to him, and I'd see how he would convey his emotions through his music and just kind of sway the crowd to feel what he was singing. And I always wanted to, I guess growing up, I wanted to be like that. I wanted to be like Michael. I wanted to be able to be on stage and say what I have to say and have people just respond to it. So yeah, music was born into me, I guess. But it was only in 2010 when my mom passed that I used it as a vehicle to kind of deal with the emotions. Mm-hmm. And I just started writing more personal. I guess before that, I wasn't really writing. I was just kind of doing things because I could. And then when my mom passed, I used it as a means to, like I said, release the emotions. I put my thoughts and my fears and sadness into my music, and I put it out there. And one thing I realized is that my music was helping other people kind of go through what they were going through. And that's something I didn't expect. I was just doing it because I needed to let these things out of me. If not, I was going to explode. And just realizing that what I had to say could have an impact on other people outside of myself made the creative process that much more meaningful. And then from there, I just, the music, it just kind of took off, and I'm the kind of person that always feels a need to keep doing more and creating more, and acting just kind of, I guess it was always just something that I knew I could do, but never really pursued until I started these little funny skits on, I guess, Vine back then. And then people just told me, you've got something, you should pursue it. And I told them, nah. But one day I did, and it just took off on its own as well. So yeah, I'm always just kind of jumping around and having fun with life.
Just letting the art kind of guide you and having that kind of effect. I love it. How is Montreal? I love Montreal. I love Montreal as a city. How do you feel there? Is that home? Does that feel like home to you?
Yeah, Montreal is absolutely home. Like, it's one thing I love about the city is that it's the multiculturalness of the city. Not a word. The
it is now.
Multiculturalness of Montreal. I just I don't think I'd be the person I am today if it wasn't for Montreal. I think being able to embrace different cultures outside of my own really allowed me to. I think that's what really helped me discover all facets of myself from an artistic perspective, is being in a place where everyone is all the things. So I felt, right at home, being able to just be myself and evolve into whatever this is with this on his head, So yeah, Montreal is home. Montreal is definitely home. Hold on, there you go.
I love it. So wait, does this get a lot of attention? Talk to us about this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where did this come from?
Is that his? That's his name. This
actually, one of my friends named it Alfie. So
Alfie, right?
Yeah. It's Alf. No, it was one of those things where growing up, because I grew up in Nigeria, and in Nigeria, there's only really two ways of having your hair. It's short or constantly properly groomed. That's it. There are no other ways. And that's the way I grew up. And then when I came to Canada, and I saw different kinds of people with different kinds of hair. But as a Black person, I guess we've always been told that there's certain things that we can and can't do with our hair. And then one day I just said, I'm just going to let it grow. But I just wanted to let it grow and see what would happen. Just let it grow, not comb it, not keep it coiffed. Just let it grow.
Let it do its thing. Let's do
its thing. And I had no idea what would happen. And then as time went on, it started to form these dreads. At first, they were all separated. And then three big ones kind of grew out of it. And then I observed it and just said, okay, I'm going to see where this is still going to keep going.
It had a life of its own, like a tree.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then they all just came together and created this one dread. I mean, if you look at it, it's like, this is life form. And I don't know. It's kind of a reflection of life. I think sometimes if you just let things be, they'll fall into place. And I think my hair is kind of a life lesson for me. And that's why I love it so much.
It's like your way, instead of getting a tattoo, you're just like, I'm just going to let my hair remind me that it just let things go.
Let things go. It's like, it's cool. Just let it be. But yeah, I wish it was a statement that I decided to do, but no, it's just that it made its own statement and I followed along.
And that's the thing though. That's how like the most beautiful surprises in life happen when you're not even planning it.
Yeah.
It just happened. I was reading a little bit about you. At first, I love your posts, and I want to get to your skits. But one thing that I really love about you is that it's almost like you wear your heart on your sleeve. You're very vulnerable, and you're not afraid to be vulnerable. Where that, sometimes can be considered as being weak, or if you're a man, I think that's actually your strength, your power, that you're so open and you explore everything. And talking about that, you were talking about how you became a music producer because you couldn't find, I guess, anyone that could understand what was going on in your head.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what was
amazing.
that process like from just being a musician? When I started singing and writing music, I would work with different producers and they're all amazing, but it was always hard to kind of explain to them what was going on in here. Like I want to do certain things and obviously they have their own style and it's nothing against them, but I just felt like no matter what I created, it didn't feel like it was all me. Mm-hmm. And so I just learned how to produce music just so I could get everything out, just everything. Because I'm the kind of person where I'll sit down and I'll come up with a melody on the spot and it'll be like, okay, it's gonna go like this and then and I can't explain what's happening in my head, but I can do it. I can create it, but I can't explain to you, this is exactly what I want. And so yeah, I just needed that vehicle to be able to do what I felt needed to be done. I'm that kind of artist. It's like, it's my way or the highway, but no, I like to collaborate too.
No, you're just like, it doesn't exist, I'm going to create it. Like,
Yeah, exactly. And I'm really not the kind of person that's going to pay attention to trends and be like, okay, this is working, so I need to do that. I really want to just do what I want to do. And if I like it, then I think that's all that really matters. Yeah.
I think Catherine can relate to that a lot. Catherine has a very creative mind. So whenever we're talking about all these kind of things, she has the way that she envisions stuff, and she's like, well, I'm going to try to do it. And so I can see the parallels of being an actress and producer and all this kind of stuff. Your mind thinks in a very different way.
Yeah. But I think that's why me and Catherine started clicking instantly on Instagram, because I think it's like real, recognize real, whatever that saying is. It's just like, oh, she's awesome.
Yeah,
she's super chill, and now look at us, we're talking.
Yeah, I know. and I feel so privileged because, sometimes he shares with me unreleased music, and I hear it, and I'm blown away.
Aww.
Like with Fix, I'm like, okay, wait, is he talking about me? So you have that way of like what you write really gets to people's hearts. It's like if it's a visceral feeling, like you're talking about that person.
Mm-hmm.
How does what's your process for creating a song?
It's just I base everything on emotion. Like I'm not the kind of person that's gonna sit down and say I'm gonna write a song about this today. Like that does not happen. I just kind of and I'm actually I used to sit down and kind of feel and start creating, but now I need the feeling to just kind of take me over. And then I go and create.
Why can't you see that I'm not trying to fix you?
And it's always something that just needs to come out. And it's always based on my life in some way, shape, or form. I may embellish things a little bit because, as you're writing, you kind of go with the groove and you feel it. But it always has to come from a personal and real place. If not, I wouldn't feel attached to the music. And if I don't feel attached to music, then I think the audience is going to be like, yeah, he doesn't really like his own song here. So, it has to always come from a place. So whether it's a song like Summerlust, which is a fun song, or like a song like Fix, which is a song that comes from, there's a lot of pain in that song. It just has to come from a real place. And I think if you're authentic with what you're doing, then it doesn't matter if you're jumping between genres. People will just see you inside the creations you're putting out.
Mm-hmm. Are you a better writer when you're sad or when you're happy? Like I remember when I was like in high school, I had a time where I would write all these poems, and they were so dreadful. It was awful. It was like the saddest stuff ever. It was like teary, because I could only write poetry when I was really sad and something bad had happened. It was the only time I could ever tell me to write a happy poem. I'm like, what is that? So I always wonder with singer-songwriters, how do you guys write? Do you write when you're sad? Do you write when you're happy? Do you just are in the shower and you're like, oh my God, I have to write this down? Like, how does it all happen?
All of the above. Like I can, if I'm in a really bad place and I create, then that's what's going to come out. And if I'm in a really good place and I create, then that's going to come out too. So because I used to, because there's a point in time when my music was very dark, and that's after my mom passed, and it was very, very dark, and people really connected with it. And I had this fear that what's going to happen when I get out of this place where I no longer feel this way and I'm feeling better? Will I no longer be able to create music?
Like, are they not going to like Happy Me? Are they not going to like Me?
So in 2017, I rebranded because I used to be just Voice before, and I rebranded to Stephen Voyce. And the first song I put out alone as Stephen Voyce was Summerlust, which is a very upbeat song.
But every must be Summerlust.
I was in such an upbeat place, and so I did it, and there was a part of me that felt reservation about putting it out as the first single, because I felt like, will my audience be confused? And I just put it out, and people, they liked it, they responded to it, and it's because it was just me. Like I was just being me in the moment, and this is what came out, and that's why this year, when I'm putting out all the different songs like I said, Fix is a sad one, but then Love in Montreal City was clearly an ode to Montreal, and that was a happy song.
It's Saturday night, and I'm feeling alright.
And they're very different. They're like night and day, but people will listen to them and still go like, yeah, that's Steven being Steven. And they're not going to go like, oh, I can't handle the fact that he's doing these two different things. Like, they're not going to freak out. And I think it's that fear that we have as people, that people are going to be so afraid to see another side of us. That's what really holds us back. But people are smarter than we give them credit for.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, you also communicate so beautifully with your audience on your social media that when people hear your music, they are able to recognize, oh yes, that's him. No matter, if it's upbeat or if it's sad. And I like that you did that collab with, is that how you said it in English? UNICEF?
UNICEF, yeah, UNICEF.
UNICEF, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
With What's Going On. So how did that come about? That's a really beautiful song.
So I'll go to that spot at the end of the world. Oh. And I'll turn to the sky and I'll say, what's going on here? What's going on?
That's a song that's a project that has been 2 years in the making. It was in 2018. I guess, so a bunch of Canadian celebrities, I swear I call myself a celebrity, Canadian celebrities, and me were, Keanu Reeves and Celine Dion, Stephen, whatever. He wasn't there, but he was part of the project. So we did something called, it was called the One Youth Initiative, and the goal was to make Canada a better place to live. So there was this commercial, and we all kind of said a piece or two about it, and so I was part of that, and that's how I met UNICEF. And I remember when I met them, I had this idea of wanting to do a song to kind of, my computer keeps doing this, wanting to give back. And it's because, again, I grew up listening to Michael Jackson songs like We Are the World or the Earth song, which I love that song. And I always wanted to do something like that, but not just put it out just like that. I wanted to do something that would make an impact, that made a statement about the world and where it is, and also somehow give back to people who need it. So I approached UNICEF about the idea. They liked it, and then we spent 2 years going back and forth about how we could make this happen. And then one day all the dots were dotted, or I's were dotted, all the T's were crossed, and it happened. And then bam, and then here we are. And it's honestly, it's such a, for me anyway, it's such a pivotal moment. I can get to say that I did that. I'm really grateful that the universe allowed that moment to happen, and I hope that more moments like that happen, where I get to do something that gives back. It's not just about taking, but about giving back as well.
I love that, and there's something so special about being in a place in your life where you can create art to give back. I think a lot of new artists, when they're starting to create just to get their names out there and all this kind of stuff. You had a very clear mind and goal of doing something to give back, and that's something so beautiful with an organization like UNICEF that has been doing this for decades.
Yeah. No, it's really awesome. Like I wake up and I'll have emails from UNICEF, and my mind is still like the child of me that's like, what? Like, are you talking to UNICEF right now?
That's insane. That's like that's one of those like pinch me moments.
Yeah, it's crazy. But honestly, I hope I never get to a point in my career where I'm phased, like, oh, it's just another day. Like, no, I hope I'm always this excited about everything I do, because it makes it so much more fun.
How do you handle like fandoms? Like when they see you in public and they cannot believe it's you and they get really excited. Like, how does that feel to you? How do you handle that?
I think I'm more excited than they're excited.
That's so sweet.
You're like, I'll take a picture. I'll take it.
I'm like, you sure you don't want a photo? You sure?
No, I'm okay.
They're like, nah, man, it's cool. It's cool. I thought it was a weekend. No, but like it happens where people stop me, and it's honestly, it's such an amazing feeling. Such an amazing feeling. I love it. Like, I honestly love it. Like, I really, really do. And I'm a huge geek, so I go to Montreal Comic-Con every year, and I do panels there. That's the whole other conversation. But whenever I go to Comic-Con, I get recognized there as well. And it's just like people just like me, all just geeks for like geek culture. And they're just excited to see me, and I'm excited to see them. So I don't know, man. Like, it's so much fun. Like,
wait, do you ever dress up when you go to Comic-Con?
This year, actually, well, not this year. I guess it's not going to happen. But next year, I plan on dressing up. I really want to. I don't know what I want to dress up as, though. Okay. I don't know. I don't want to do the cliche. I don't want to go as Black Panther. You're like, oh, gee whiz. Didn't see that one coming, Steve.
No, no, not predictable at all.
No. So I got to find something. Yeah.
Now, you're one of the things that I love, Angela, and you have to see this, and we're going to share this with our audience, is Me, Myself, and Steve. Okay, so this almost seems like, of course, is your I guess inner dialogue with self, but I mean, they come up with the most random conversations, and then one of them is always, gearing it towards sex. How does this happen? It's hilarious. Tell us about Me, Myself, and Steve's. Who are they?
Okay, well, I'll tell you how it started. Me, Myself, and Steve's happened because I wanted to do a skit, like a reoccurring something.
Right, well, I'm just gonna jump right into it. This cannot be good. You don't want to warm us up first? Do I look like a gym instructor? I'm already confused by your analogy. Warming us up before a workout, hence gym instructor? I understood that. I'm just surprised you did not make a sex analogy. I mean, you left it wide open. I did, didn't I? I just didn't want to overshadow what I have to say. And by the way, that's what she said. Just spit it out. How do I put this? Bruv, your girlfriend's nude on the internet. That doesn't bother you? I mean, that doesn't bother me.
At the time, I just wanted to showcase my ability to do different accents as well. So that was it. It was just like I could do my Nigerian accent. I'm Nigerian. I have the accent. I can do the British accent because my aunt's British, and I've spent my whole life making fun of her. So like I absorbed her accent just from replicating her accent. And I wanted to do a show where that was it. That was the premise. It was these 3 different people. They have accents. The end. But and that was supposed to be it. And then the first 2 episodes are essentially that. But then at some point, I don't know when it happened, I guess the Canadian Steve became more of of Steven's day-to-day, dealing with things in his life. And then the Nigerian Steve became the wise one. And then the British Steve became the devil on my shoulder. And I don't know how. And it just happened. And then one day I realized that was what was happening. And I just kept going with that. But that's it. Those are the characters. But they're really, I feel like Me, Myself, and Steve is my own special form of self-therapy. Trying to deal with, like, how do I deal with what's happening in my life right now? Let's ask Steven, and let's ask Steven, and let's film it. Why not? That's what it feels like. That's what it is.
It reminds me a little bit, it has a little bit of Curb Your Enthusiasm there. But could you please introduce us to Me, Myself, and Steve's? I'd like to meet each one of them, please.
Each one of them. Oh my gosh. Well, this is you've met. They're all Steven, by the way. So you've met Steven.
Of course. And then obviously
there's like Steven, and it's the one that's clearly obsessed with pornography, and I don't know why. Obsessed with it. I don't even know why he is. Yeah, that's the other one. And then there's Steven.
Pornhub Premium. It's like gone up real much. A lot.
Well, he was talking about that recently.
He talked about it. Don't ask me why. And then there's Nigerian Steven, who does not understand why these other 2 people are always so bickering with each other. I don't understand it. And these are them. And it's like when I'm writing the episodes, it always starts off with me. Like something will happen in my life that week. It could be I released a song and I just write the first sentence would just be like, hey, by the way, guys, I released a song. And then they just take it over. They really take it over in my head, and I just write it. And I feel a little crazy most of the time, but hey, nothing's wrong with that. Nothing's wrong with a little bit of insanity.
Crazy genius.
Yeah, totally. And I can totally relate, because guys tell me all the time that they want a girl with personality, and then I have like 6 of them. So they get lucky,
Exactly. But no, it's funny because like they're starting to trickle into my day-to-day. Because like sometimes and it's, you can tell because I'll switch accents, and because the Canadian Steve is he's very polite. This is Steven. Yeah. British Steve is kind of like, I don't have time for any of this bullshit, right? Like, leave me alone. And that's him, just like straight, just like, no, that's it. And then Nigerian Steve is very wise, but I'll find myself switching accents. My friends are like, you stop doing that. I'm like, I'm not doing it on purpose. It's who I am.
So I guess you have, multiple personalities, right? And that's great.
Yeah.
I think, we get to enjoy the benefits of it for sure.
I mean, it's a double standard because they call us crazy girls if we have multiple personalities. But a guy, he's great. I mean, whatever.
He's cool. He's multiple. He's a cool guy.
Oh, he's just, he's talented. He's so creative.
He's so creative.
But we're psycho. Okay.
Double standard, not fair.
Double
I agree.
Standards.
I agree.
And that would be Nigerian Steve talking about that, right?
Yes, Nigerian Steve will talk about the fact that it's a double standard and it's not fair. We should be more focused on equality. That's what he would say.
Very wise man. Very wise.
Yeah, very wise indeed.
So, Stephen, are you a romantic man?
I am. I very, very much am. Very much so. Very much so. Yeah.
Can we hear that in your, like, a lot of the songs that you write are because of your, romantic and passionate relationships or?
Yeah. I go from talking about, love in its purest form, romance, and I'll dive into sex in its rawest form. Catherine has heard one of the songs already about
that. My God. Can you talk a little bit about that song? I'm obsessed with it.
Since he brought it up.
I did bring it up. Yeah, the song it's called, it's a weird name. It's a weird name. It's written as 20 Sex 20. And I just thought it was funny because it was in the chorus, I say sex in 2020. So I put 20 Sex 20. I thought that was
Hold on. I'm sweating right now.
The irony the irony is that we're all stuck at home.
I know.
My God.
I know.
Okay.
Pure irony. But yeah, that song is just I was just in that mood. I was just in a very sexual mood, and I sat in my studio and I played a few keys and I hit that instrument that comes in at the beginning of the song, and it's very like, and I was like, oh, this is a sex song. This is instantly a sex song, and I just went with it, and that was it. That was it. That's what came out. Me talking about how you can shackle me and this and that. That's right. Ain't no shame. Ain't no shame.
No. The ladies are gonna love the song. Trust me.
Awesome. Yes.
And that one needs a music video.
I honestly, I really want one. The second we can come out of quarantine and it's officially safe, then I'm gonna film a video on that one because
I mean, Angela and I can be your actresses in the video.
I mean,
oh please, can we?
We're very low budget right now.
Can we make this happen? Can we make this happen?
I mean, 2 Caribbean girls doesn't get any better than that.
I think that's it. It's a perfect idea.
I'm good. Let's do it. Let's go.
Deal.
Done.
Deal.
So,
we have a verbal contract.
Done. I'm all about the words, right? I believe more in a verbal contract and a handshake than what's
That's
written.
it. We're good.
More handshakes after this call.
Yeah, no. Nope.
So have you released that song yet? Or
no. So it comes out soon actually. So the next song is what's it called? The Wild One. I haven't said when it's coming out on social media yet, but if I was to say what it is, I would say it was May 15th, but I haven't said that. So if there was a day it was coming out, it'd be May 15th. So that's the day that I would say it was coming out if it was coming out. So that's Wild One. And then the next song, 20 Sex 20 comes out. I'm thinking about either end of May or June because like I said, the goal is 2 singles a month. Yeah, 2 singles a month. So I'm just gonna bam and then drop that one and yeah. Soon.
I was hoping we can use like a little sneak of it. Okay.
I mean, you can. I don't mind. You can play a sneak of it. I really don't mind. Like,
really?
I feel like in honestly, the best marketing is just like letting things slip. It's like, whoops.
Keep your hair. You just gotta let it go.
Let it go. So if you're gonna play a little snip, I'm like, oh, there it is. That's what happened. Things happen.
Now, who do people tell you that they remind you of that you remind them of when they hear their music? You know how they always compare us, you remind me of this. When you're an actor, like you look like so-and-so. How about with music?
I get 3. I get and also it depends on the song, but I will get Michael Jackson, I'll get Prince. I also get The Weeknd a lot.
Yes.
I get The Weeknd a lot. So this the 3. And also I'm, like I said, a massive fan of Michael Jackson, a huge fan of Prince. I love what The Weeknd does. It's actually really funny when it comes to The Weeknd. He and I both kind of got into the game around the same time. So it's kind of interesting. And I think we're both, I call ourselves children of Michael. We're both children of Michael. So there's like, there's an influence that we have from Michael, and we're both Canadian. He's in Toronto, I'm in Montreal. So I think there's a lot of influences that are very similar. So you can see that in our music. In some songs, Obviously we sing about different things, and sometimes he takes things far in some direction. I think I take things far in a different direction, but it's an honor for me to be compared to these greats. So I'm not complaining.
I mean, these are all geniuses in their own right. I mean, Prince.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And The Weeknd. I definitely, I would say the same thing. Like, you do remind me, there are songs that I hear of you that reminds me of very much Michael Jackson and your boys. Yeah. And then the vibe with Prince and of course The Weeknd. So that's great. But we have all that in one, and Stephen.
All in one. Yeah.
It's gotta be great. I love it. So what is it that you're looking forward to? Like, it seems, I'm being maybe very positive, it seems like we will have a remnants of normality in the weeks to come, or some sort of normality. What is it that you're looking forward to the most as soon as you open that door?
Oh man, I just want to give like my friends all just the most massive hugs.
Same.
Like for like way too long. Like to the point that they're like, could you let go? And I'm like, no, one more second. That's what I can't wait for. I just can't wait for that. But you know what? On as dreadful as this whole thing has been, I think at the same time is also made us self-realize our own worth. I think a lot of people are gonna go back, if they have their day jobs or whatever, they're going to go back feeling a little bit more empowered and knowing that there's things that they deserve better. And I think there's going to be like a change in the way people live and what they accept as okay. So in that respect, I think there's going to be a positive change. But it's I mean, obviously people.
I think people are going to, the things that they took for granted are going to be like, oh my God, I am so thankful for these people for, in case they do have a job that they love. I think in self-reflection, because since we're in, now we have to go in, right? So there's a lot of that kind of stuff.
This is forcing everyone to just internalize. I'm like, hey guys, first of all, I need a break. I need a break from all of you walking around all the time. So go inside and figure yourselves out. And I think that's what's happening right now. And it's a very interesting time that the whole world is going, the whole world. It's completely unprecedented, but yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think the world is going to be, before COVID and after COVID for sure.
Yeah.
Is there anything, since you've been quarantined, that anything new that, well, not new, but something that you discovered or something that perhaps you weren't paying attention before, that being quarantined kind of like came to the forefront and made you deal with it, and maybe something that you're now adapting into your own life when you once didn't? Like any new discoveries? Definitely.
I think for me, and it's well, so I've been dating someone. Her name is Oro. She's amazing, by the way.
We know her, yeah.
I know. I post about it everywhere. So I've been dating her, and I think the quarantine it forced us to be in the same space. Mm-hmm. And it made me realize that I'm ready for something more. Like, not like I'm done with the flings and this and that. Like, I'm ready for something like it's. I don't know, I can't explain it, but having someone that feels like this is your partner, like we can do so much together, like that for me is such a powerful thing, and it's such a new feeling for me too. So I guess I'm learning a lot about myself and what I consider to be my boundaries, and realizing I don't really have those boundaries, and I'm ready to share my world with more than just myself.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, more than just with Steve and with the Steves, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
See, and that's beautiful that you talk about that so openly, where other people seem to, be so reserved about that. You're just, an open book. And I love how you two get along.
Yeah, she's probably just as crazy, if not crazier than me. So like, it just works. And yeah, I think that's awesome. And I don't know why people are so afraid to show their lives. I think people are so afraid of being judged. And I just don't think that there's a point of worrying about what anyone else is going to think. Like, if you're happy, that's it. And people are going to see that. They're going to be like, hey, he's happy. He's doing what he loves, the end. And that's it. That's the end of conversation. If someone's mad about that, then that's on them. It's not on me.
And also, it seems like you're at a stage in your life where you recognize your ready to take it to the next level. Like,
yeah,
let's face it, a lot of men don't want to disclose that because they want to keep their options open. So that would
exactly.
That would kind of mess up the other option.
Yeah, no.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's them, but not this guy.
Pat, what are you looking forward to when this thing is over, when you can get out of the house?
What am I looking? I'm looking forward to traveling again.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to getting on a plane. I'm looking forward to my new project. As you know, you're involved with it too.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this time. I mean, I'm very much of a loner, and I'm a very quiet person and very introspective. So in that sense, that much hasn't changed in my life because I don't go out. I don't like to go out because with what we do, we're constantly out around people, right?
Yeah,
and so the time that I don't need to be around anybody, I actually enjoy it. And so in that sense, that hasn't changed for me. But I am looking forward to, you know, seeing my close friends and also giving them a hug and you know, just getting back to the stuff that has been paused, just arrancar, you know?
Yeah.
I love it. It's true.
How about you, Angela?
The same way. I feel like I just want to give my friends a hug, like my close friends. Like I thrive around people, but I also, like Catherine, I have like 2 days that I have to be with people, and then after that I need 3 days to like recoup.
Yes.
We're Pisces, it's kind of the same thing. We're very like introspective, and I think this time actually has been really great because I've had to sit down with things that were kind of irking me that, you know, I kept putting patches on, and now I'm just like, okay, sit down and handle it. And I think it's one of those, perhaps the only time in our lifetime that this is a great opportunity that life is giving us. Yes, all these bad things are happening, but at the same time, to have this time to ourselves, I don't know that the rest of the world, you know, is going to have this in the future. So I'm thankful for that.
Stephen, do you cook?
I do.
I've seen you.
I do indeed. But I'm one of those people that cooks. I feel like I cook the same way I make music. Like when it comes to music, I don't really think about the sounds I'm using. I just think about how the sounds make me feel when I'm doing them. And I think with cooking is more like I just go based on smell. So I'll smell something and I'll start cooking it, and I'll go like, oh, this smells like this, and I need to add this just because like this is gonna harmonize with that smell. And I go based entirely on smell, and 99.9% of the time I'm right that it'll taste good. So yeah, I'm one of those cook based on smell. Don't ask me about, you know, recipes. I'm like, I don't know what the recipe was. I just like
a dash of that.
Yeah, I just started cooking, and then this was created, and that's it.
I love it.
Any special dishes from home? I mean, Nigerian food is delicious, and it's very similar to Dominican food, by the way, Angela.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's well, I guess in Nigeria it's called Gari and soup. It's like a starch, and you kind of put inside of a soup, and there's different kinds of soup. I love it. Like I love it. I can't eat too much of it because it's so heavy, but you know how it is. Like but yeah, I can't personally make it. My sister is actually the queen of, actually the king and queen of cooking it. But I'm still learning. But one thing I do cook from Nigeria is plantains. Fried plantains with stew.
Oh so my good. God.
The best. Sweet or green? Which one?
Sweet.
Okay, the sweet plantain.
Yeah.
In Dominican Republic, we call it plátano maduro. And there's a very famous merengue that goes, plátano maduro no vuelve a verde y el tiempo que se va no vuelve. You remember that? I need to send you that song, Stephen. So good.
Yes, please.
Sweet plantain.
It's so good. Yeah, sweet plantain. I'm not the biggest fan of the green, like, you know, when it's like.
I love those dones. The fried, the crispy ones.
Yeah. I love it sweet. I love it. Yeah. Just think about it makes me hungry now.
Even it's like, I like him sweet.
Yes.
So, well, you have new music coming out. Any other projects that you're working on currently that we can that you can share, or?
Was actually, let's see. There are 2 TV shows. I guess they're on pause now, but there are 2 TV shows that I'm a part of. I know what I can say. what can I say? One character is an alien. He's like a space cowboy. That's all I can say. I actually posted a photo from. They actually allowed me to post one of the photos. I posted it a few weeks ago. So if you scroll through my Instagram, you'd see it.
I think I saw it. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's the character. So funny story about that. So I went on set, and then they showed me what my character was gonna wear, and it was this awesome long brown jacket. I loved it so much to the point that after shooting, I went looking for a similar jacket. That's why if you see a lot of photos of me with a jacket, is because I was so inspired by my character that I went and bought a similar jacket. I'm sure they're pretty pissed at me on set. I'm sure they're like, what is wrong with you? But I couldn't care less because I love that jacket. And then the other show, I play a very promiscuous bisexual character, which I love playing. Like, love.
You're British. You're British.
I was gonna say that's British, Steve.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because when I play him, I switch back and forth into the British accents just because it's fun to do that with that character. But I love that character. He's so promiscuous, and I get to play him, and he's that's cool. And then there's another, and then there's a movie that we're supposed to be filming. Hopefully, if everything works out at some point in the fall. We're filming it in Ireland, and it's like almost like Shaun of the Dead. That kind of vibe. So I'm excited for that as well. So there's a few projects.
Nice. So you're going to be really busy once
the
world opens up.
Once this is done. But honestly, I because me and Catherine, we keep saying that we want to work together one day. I really want to. I hope we make this happen this year. Like, we need to be in something together. I don't care if we make it. Let's just do it.
Let's make it happen. I mean, you already have the offer of the music video on the table. That's
right. There you go. We got that one down.
But we need to do something else. Of course, I totally agree. Now,
I love that.
Are you able to show us a little preview of some of your music while you're at your studio?
Sure. Let's see. Well, you know what? I will play the 2620.
Yes.
I'll play a little bit.
Okay, hold on.
She needs a fan. We
need a fan. I don't have my fan here with me, but
hold on, it's in my Dropbox.
Prepárate.
Okay.
This song is hot.
Let me take a breath.
Wait. Okay, I'm gonna drink some water right now.
You got a water? Okay. Here, this is. I think it's the 20. No, that's the wrong version. Let me get the right version.
And this one reminds me. This one for me is, it's you, but it does remind me of very much Kiss a little bit from Prince, right?
Yes, yeah. I love Prince.
Me too.
I love Prince. Okay, I'm gonna play it until the halfway through the first chorus, and now stop playing it.
Okay.
Can you hear it? Hold on a minute. Can you hear it?
Let me see you touch yourself. Do you mind if I watch? Don't you take your eyes off mine? Do you mind if I touch? Yeah, your body's aching, I can feel it. And your hips, they are your giveaway. You're a freak, yeah girl, you're just like me. There's no place that you would rather be than right here with me. Right here, right here. Right here with me.
Like the way you touch me.
Sex in 2020.
Like the way you touch me.
Sex in 2020 to bring you with your chain.
Okay, that's all. I can
Good job.
So good.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you so much for giving us that little sneak peek. I mean, I already had the sneak peek, not to brag, but
I know.
Thanks for letting us all know, Kat, that you already
yeah. In case you didn't know.
got a dose, and all of us.
In case you don't know.
Okay.
So like post like a screenshot of our texts. It's like, as proof.
We're friends in real life, people.
We really are.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. I really look forward, to hearing more of your music. Thank you for sharing it with us. Any plans to come to LA anytime? Well,
yeah. Once this is done, I want to come down to LA because there's a few people I want to come meet there and work with. So yeah, if this is done soon, then I'll be there around fall time.
All right. So then we'll definitely need to have you in studio.
Hell yes.
Absolutely. So there's one last question we want to ask you. Kat,
let's do
go
it.
ahead.
Do the honors, Kat.
Okay. Who do you talk fast to and listen slow to?
Oro,
yeah.
I mean Oro. So my girlfriend.
Oh.
Yeah. I definitely talk really fast to her because every time I talk to her, I'm talking about my 1001 ideas, and I feel bad for her. but when she's speaking, I make sure to pay attention. But to be fair, she talks fast to me too because we're both very much in the same wavelength. So I think to anyone just watching our conversation, it's like, what is happening? But yeah,
it's gold because I talk real fast too.
Yeah. Yes. Speed talkers for the win.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And wait, I have one last question.
Oh.
Speaking about your Alien movie. It's a movie or a TV show?
It's a TV show.
It's a TV show. Do you believe in aliens?
Yes. How can we live in a universe that is populated with so many worlds, so many suns, so many solar systems, so many galaxies, so many planets, and believe that only on this one there's life? I cannot. No, I think growing up, one of the things that would soothe me whenever I was feeling stressed out is I would sit down and look at the moon at nighttime and just look at the sky. And like I said, I lived in Nigeria, so like you could actually see the stars at nighttime. And I would realize that we're just in one world, and beyond this world, there are many other worlds. And whenever I did that, I felt like my problems would drift away because they felt so small compared to the grand scale of the universe. So I don't believe we're alone.
Yes, I love it. Well, we're definitely not alone.
No, we're not.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me. Honestly, I was, like I said, super excited to be on the show. So thank you.
Did we take it easy on you? Did you have fun?
I had a blast.
Yeah.
I had a blast.
Thank you so much.
We got to take a screenshot. Hold on.
Okay, do it.
Screenshot.
Selfie. We're fans.
Let's do it. I'm trying to get my finger out of the phone. Okay, there we go. Ready? Did I get it? No, I turned the phone off.
We'll wait.
Okay, I'm gonna flip the phone this way. It's gonna be so much easier. It's just not proportionate. No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Hold on.
We have faith in you.
And where do we need to? We need to look at the camera.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Because otherwise, I'll just be looking at you.
Got it. Totally.
Yay! That wasn't stressful at all.
Where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram. I think, honestly, Instagram, I'm everywhere. But Instagram is my hub. That's where I'm the most active. And if you're following me on Instagram, you literally know what's going on in my life and any other aspect. So Instagram, Stephen Voyce, StephenVoyce.
Perfect.
That's a great name, right? Voice.
Stephen Voyce. Yeah, I love that.
The name is Voice. Stephen Voyce.
Stephen Voyce.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being with us. We love you. Have a great weekend.
Yeah.
We are on Thursday, but today is Saturday. So have a great weekend, and we will see you soon.
Thank you so much for watching another edition of Talk Fast, Listen Slow. Until next week.